Chapter 15. The Filter of Life, Salt and the Kidneys. 1. The interaction, eliminating urea and uric acid. Your kidneys aren't simple dams. They're sophisticated chemical purification plants, and salt is at the heart of everything they do. There's a common myth. People think salt clogs the kidneys, damages them. This is backwards. Salt is the essential solvent that allows your kidneys to eliminate metabolic poisons, specifically urea and uric acid. Without enough salt, these waste products can't be washed out. They accumulate in your tissues, your joints. Eventually, they poison you. Think about what your body produces daily. Urea and uric acid are the ashes of your body's furnace. Every time you build muscle or digest protein, these wastes are created. They must be removed constantly. For the kidneys to flush these ashes away, they must stay dissolved. Salt increases the solvent power of your blood and urine. It gives these fluids the chemical grip to carry heavy waste molecules. In a salt-deficient state, your urine becomes thin and watery. It looks like you're flushing toxins, but you're not. The urine lacks strength to carry the waste, so the waste stays behind. Your body stores it in your extremities. This causes gout, systemic toxicity, chronic fatigue. Salt acts like chemical detergent. It keeps your renal pipes clear. The filtration process is even more fascinating. The nephron is the kidney's microscopic functional unit. It creates osmotic pressure to pull toxins from your bloodstream. This is an energy-intensive task, and it runs on salt. When salt intake is optimal, your kidneys filter with minimal strain. Salt isn't taxing them, it's providing the fuel they need. The result? When your kidneys have enough salt to eliminate urea, your blood stays pure. Your body feels light, energized, clear. This is true internal cleanliness. 2. The danger of plain water, flooding the kidneys. Modern advice says drink more water, 8 glasses a day, flush your system. But this advice is dangerously incomplete. Excessive plain water can threaten your body's balance. This is called flooding the kidneys. When water intake exceeds your sodium supply, your kidneys struggle. Instead of cleansing, the water deluge dilutes your blood dangerously. Your kidneys enter renal fatigue, trying to maintain balance. The danger is the washout effect. Your kidneys keep blood at specific salinity, about 0.9%, like seawater. When you flood with plain water, kidneys work overtime eliminating excess. They're preventing blood from becoming too thin. But as water flushes out, it takes your mineral reserves. Sodium and chloride leave with it. This creates a vicious cycle. More plain water means more salt loss. More salt loss means more kidney strain. You become water-heavy but mineral-starved, chronically exhausted, puffy. Despite all that water, you feel terrible. Flooding kidneys with plain water causes intracellular edema. Your blood becomes too dilute. Water pushes out of vessels into cells, seeking higher salt concentration. Your tissues swell. Most dangerously, your brain swells. Kidneys sense this imbalance and enter emergency mode. They increase heart rate and blood pressure. This forces fluid through filtration units. This isn't cleansing, it's high-pressure mechanical strain. Before modern water obsession, people drank broths, lightly salted teas, or mineral waters. These maintained salt balance while hydrating. Kidneys didn't work against the fluid, they worked with it. The solution is simple. If you're drinking large amounts of water, especially during exercise or heat, add a pinch of salt. This small adjustment transforms plain water from stressor to ally. When water enters with its natural mineral partner, kidneys hydrate tissues without depleting reserves. Filtration becomes smooth and efficient. The difference is remarkable. Properly mineralized water doesn't sit heavy in your stomach. It absorbs smoothly. Your body recognizes it, welcomes it. Water alone isn't enough. Water needs salt. The two are inseparable in nature. They should be inseparable in your body. The balanced prescription. How much salt do we really need? The salt debate is contentious. One side says it's deadly poison. The other says it's harmless. The truth is physiological, not ideological. Your body loses salt constantly, through sweat, urine, tears, even breathing. This loss must be replaced daily. For a sedentary person in moderate climate, baseline is 3 to 5 grams daily, roughly 1 teaspoon. This maintains osmotic pressure, keeps kidneys functioning, preserves nerve and muscle conductivity. But this baseline changes dramatically with activity and environment. Intense exercise, you lose several grams in one workout. Hot climate, sweat production explodes. Physical job, salt needs can triple or quadruple. History provides evidence. Roman soldiers marching through heat received their salarium, salt allowance. This wasn't tradition, it was survival. Without salt, they'd collapse within days. Early 20th century industrial workers faced similar challenges. Men near furnaces drank gallons of water, but still fainted, still suffered heat cramps. The solution? Salt tablets at every fountain. Fainting stopped immediately. Modern athletes rediscovered this. Sports drinks aren't just sugar water. They contain sodium, electrolytes, the mineral foundation that lets your body use water effectively. But what about heart health warnings? Here's the nuance. For individuals with specific conditions, certain kidney diseases or severe hypertension, salt restriction may be necessary. These are real conditions requiring management. But for the general population, blanket recommendations to drastically reduce salt created their own problems. Too little salt can be as dangerous as too much, maybe more so. Low sodium associates with increased heart attack risk, insulin resistance, cognitive decline. Your body can't function without adequate salt. The balanced prescription recognizes individuality. A marathon runner needs more salt than a desk worker. Someone in Arizona needs more than someone in Alaska. A teenager needs more than an elderly person with heart failure. Listen to your body. Salt cravings aren't moral failings, they're biological signals. If you crave salt after exercise, your body is telling you something. Listen. Should taste pleasantly salted, not aggressively, not bland. Natural appetite for salt, when not corrupted by processed foods, is remarkably accurate. Traditional diets worldwide contain 6 to 12 grams daily. This range supported civilizations for thousands of years, physical labor, cognitive function, reproductive health. Modern fear of the salt shaker ignores this evidence. It treats salt as enemy rather than essential nutrient. The balanced prescription isn't about restriction or excess. It's about meeting your body's needs, replacing what you lose, maintaining the internal ocean that keeps you alive. Salt isn't poison, it's not medicine, it's fundamental, like water, like air. 4. Deficiency diseases, when the kidneys cry for salt. Throughout medical history, certain conditions puzzled physicians, mysterious ailments that didn't respond to treatment, chronic complaints defying explanation. Many were salt deficiency diseases, conditions arising from prolonged mineral starvation. The kidneys reveal these deficiencies first. They're gatekeepers of your salt balance. When intake drops too low for too long, kidneys cry out through impossible-to-ignore symptoms. First sign, persistent, crushing fatigue. Not normal tiredness, bone-deep exhaustion. Getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain. Your blood volume drops, blood pressure too low. Kidneys can't maintain circulation. Next, mental fog, confusion, difficulty concentrating, memory problems. Your brain is 80% water. All that water must be properly salted. When salt drops, electrical signals literally slow down. Then, muscle cramps, particularly at night. Legs seize up, hands cramp. Muscles can't contract or relax without sodium. Electrical charge triggering movement depends entirely on salt ions. Severe cases become dangerous. Nausea, dizziness, fainting, signs of acute salt depletion. Kidneys exhausted their reserves, blood pressure crashing, bodies shutting down non-essential functions. Historical literature is filled with these cases,
Prisoners on saltless diets, explorers in extreme climates, workers in hot industries before salt supplementation. 19th century physicians called it adenemia, without strength, patients with profound weakness, unable to work or walk, no fever, no infection, just total collapse. Treatment was remarkably simple. Salt, as saline solution or heavily salted food. Within days, sometimes hours, transformation was dramatic. Strength returned, mental clarity resumed. Kidneys, finally receiving needed mineral, could resume function.
Another deficiency: intestinal auto-intoxication. Without adequate salt, digestive system can't produce enough hydrochloric acid. Food putrefies in the gut. Toxins absorb into bloodstream. Kidneys, already weakened, can't filter effectively. Result: slow poisoning from within. Bad breath, coated tongue, chronic constipation, general malaise, all traceable to inadequate salt. In tropical climates, it was worse. Colonial doctors documented thousands of cases of heat exhaustion and collapse. The culprit wasn't heat itself, it was salt loss through sweat. British military established protocols: salt rations for troops in hot climates, salted water at work sites. This simple intervention saved countless lives. Modern medicine rediscovered these lessons. POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, causes severe dizziness and rapid heartbeat when standing. Most effective treatment? Increased salt and fluid intake. It's a deficiency disease masquerading as mystery. Chronic fatigue syndrome often responds to salt supplementation, not because salt cures everything, but because many sufferers are chronically dehydrated and mineral depleted. Their kidneys struggle to maintain blood volume and pressure. Correcting these deficiencies is profound. Patients describe it as coming back to life. Colors seem brighter, thoughts clearer, energy returns. This isn't placebo, it's basic physiology restored. Kidneys given needed salt can finally do their job: maintain blood pressure, filter toxins, balance fluids, regulate minerals. Deficiency diseases teach a fundamental truth: body's requirements aren't suggestions, they're necessities. Ignore them, machinery breaks down. Meet them, machinery purrs. When kidneys cry for salt, listen, because what they're really saying is simple: give me the mineral I need to keep you alive. 5. Monitoring renal function. Salt as a diagnostic tool. In modern nephrology, salt has an additional role: not just nutrient, but diagnostic tool. A way to measure and monitor kidney function. The kidneys maintain precise sodium balance. They filter out excess when intake is high, conserve sodium when intake is low. This regulatory function is so fundamental that any disruption reveals kidney problems immediately. One simple test: sodium excretion over 24 hours. Patient collects all urine for a full day. Sodium content is measured. This single number tells a remarkable story. If sodium excretion is too low despite normal intake, kidneys are holding on to salt. This might indicate heart failure or hormonal imbalances, kidneys trying to maintain blood volume because the cardiovascular system struggles. If excretion is too high, kidneys are wasting salt. This suggests tubular damage. Nephrons can't reabsorb sodium properly. Red flag for chronic kidney disease. The sodium to potassium ratio in urine is equally revealing. Healthy kidneys maintain specific balance. When that ratio shifts, it indicates filtration problems or hormonal regulation issues. Fractional excretion of sodium is another key metric. This measures what percentage of filtered sodium ends up in urine. Healthy kidneys reabsorb almost all sodium, only about 1% excreted. If this fraction increases significantly, tubules aren't working properly. These diagnostic uses are incredibly valuable clinically. They provide real-time kidney information without invasive procedures. A simple urine test analyzed for sodium can reveal problems that wouldn't show up on standard tests for months or years. Salt loading tests go further. Patient receives controlled salt amount, urine collected over the next several hours. How quickly and completely does kidney excrete this load? Healthy kidneys respond rapidly, excess sodium eliminated efficiently. Blood pressure might rise slightly but returns to normal quickly. This is kidney flexibility in action. Damaged kidneys struggle. They can't increase sodium excretion appropriately. Blood pressure rises and stays elevated, or kidneys overreact, dumping too much sodium too quickly. Both responses indicate dysfunction. In emergency rooms, serum sodium levels are checked first. Hypernatremia means blood sodium too high, indicates severe dehydration or diabetes insipidus or acute kidney injury, medical emergency requiring immediate intervention. Hyponatremia means blood sodium too low, more common and often more dangerous, results from excessive plain water or certain medications interfering with balance, or kidney disease preventing proper retention. Hyponatremia symptoms are neurological, confusion, seizures, coma. Brain cells swell when sodium drops. This dramatically demonstrates salt's critical role. Change sodium concentration, change brain function, immediately. Monitoring salt balance is crucial in dialysis patients. These individuals lost most or all kidney function. They depend on artificial filtration. Managing salt intake is a delicate balance. Too much salt, fluid accumulates between sessions. Heart strained, blood pressure spikes. Too little salt, they experience deficiency symptoms, weakness, cramping, dizziness. Dialysis centers carefully monitor each patient's sodium levels, adjust dialysate composition, counsel on dietary intake. This micromanagement literally keeps patients alive. Historical development of these tools is fascinating. Before modern labs, physicians would taste urine to assess salt content. Seriously, they'd note if too salty or bland. This crude method actually provided useful information. Today's technology is more precise, but the underlying principle remains. Kidneys' handling of salt reveals their health, fundamental marker of renal function. This diagnostic use reinforces salt's central physiological role. It's not just nutrition, it's basic architecture of how the body works. Kidneys can't be understood without understanding salt. Salt metabolism can't be understood without understanding kidneys. The two are inextricably linked, partners maintaining internal environment. The filter of life depends on the mineral of the sea. When we monitor salt, we're monitoring life itself, the flow, the balance, the constant dynamic equilibrium making consciousness possible. Salt as diagnostic tool isn't just medical technology, it's a window into the fundamental chemistry of being alive.